America.
Welcome to the Costa Mesa Pettis Perspective, episode 16. It's been a minute. Council's been out on break. It looks like long enough for me just about to grow a beard. And thanks for watching tonight. And tonight's the episode, I'm calling it's about local control. And you'll see what I mean a little bit here as I go forward. So the council meeting last night, Tuesday evening, was the major highlights were One Metro West and a couple other things. So I'm going to focus mostly on One Metro West tonight, and I'm going to keep it very general. And we're going to talk about what's going to happen going forward. So there was the final vote in the council meeting and the final reading and the final vote meeting. It is going to go forward to Measure Y. And the vote was 5-1 with Harper saying no, and Jeff Harlan was recused. As I said before, he recused himself because of his involvement with the project in the Planning Commission. Right thing to do. That was good of him. So on the whole One Metro kind of debate that's been going on for weeks and weeks, months, years, you know, what I want to say is that if I was looking at this from another perspective or from the outside, I would be thinking to myself, aren't you conservatives, Republicans, mostly about growth? And so why does it seem like many of them or us are against this project? And what I want to say is I'm definitely pro-growth and I'm pro-capitalism, free markets. I like to see the business sector and the economy do well in my city. So from that perspective, I think One Metro West, I mean, it's going to bring property taxes to the city, hopefully more businesses to the city, jobs. So there's a lot of things that are good about the project. And so in that sense, I think that, again, there's many things about One Metro that are good. It satisfies some of the housing requirements. So if I ever sounded like I'm just, this naysayer, I'm not. I'm just trying to present the good and the bad and the indifferent on as we go forward. But what I will say that I don't like about the project from the city council point of view, I don't think that the council, as it is now, is in favor of this because of the growth part or the economic part of it. I think it's more about local control of government. And I really do believe that. So two things can be present in the same space. And what I mean by that is you have the community workforce agreement, which is in place once this thing gets underway, provided it's voted in on Measure Y. All the contracts for the building, all the electricity, all the cement, all the framing, everything is going to go to unions as agreed upon in the community workforce agreement. And so that edges out any competition, any free market competition. Definitely not in play here. So this is a gigantic goodie to the unions. So I believe that a lot of the project has to do with that when I talk about control. Another thing of concern of mine would be there will be the necessity for a new fire station. And that is going to the elephant in the room, so to speak, meaning that could mean for the city in the future a lot of financial problems, because as we know, fire, police, as they are our local heroes, and they provide a vital service to the city. Adding a whole new station is many. There's many things that can go wrong fiscally with the city if we're going to just add another fire station. So I think that's another. Obviously, police and fire have been in large, in almost all ways, they supported the Democrat candidates. So there's been donations. So when I talk about local control, that's what I'm talking about. Now, coming to Measure Y. So as it sits now, as the city attorney had described, this does meet the qualifications to vote, to be on the ballot under Measure Y, which was the Measure Y was voted in. 65-ish% of the citizens of Costa Mesa wanted Measure Y. Just to be brief, to the people that don't know what Measure Y is, it was an initiative that says any project of a certain size or that requires rezoning of an area needs to be voted in by the public. And One Metro West far and away does satisfy those things. So there's been a lot of chatter and debate. In fact, there was, I think, Wendy Lease, Mary Spadoni, talked in the council meeting to the council on the dais about concerns over Measure Y being changed, messed with. One thing that I did observe was Andrea Marr, I forget exactly how she said it. I think the quote was, "There's not a diabolical plan to skirt Measure Y." I don't know what anybody's talking about. So, and that technically might be true, but there is definitely reason to be concerned. Example being Leonard Glickman, who's with Rose Equities, is one of the big people involved in Rose Equities, which is a developer for One Metro West. He's stated publicly in the past that if they that he would try to go around Y if it stood in the way, and he thinks it's unenforceable. That might not be a diabolical plan, but to me that proves that there is concern about Measure Y. So Andrea Marr, if I had Liberty here with me, you'd get the Liberty alert. I do think it's worthwhile to pay attention to how Measure Y is going to be written going forward, because as of now, it will be on the November ballot in 2022 for the citizens to vote for it, unless Rose Equities, the developers, pay for a special election, which is highly doubtful because that costs in the millions of dollars to do. So barring a special election, it will go to it will be on the 2022 November ballot. And by the way, if Glickman and the folks, if they were able to get around Measure Y or didn't think it was enforceable, and they were able to rezone an entire commercial district, which is necessary, one of the reasons is having to go to Measure Y. If that whole area was rezoned and built and wasn't voted in by the public under Measure Y, you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be many, many more projects like that coming down the pike. So that is why Measure Y is important. So I think it's a safe bet to say that it's very possible to be in favor of One Metro Y or One Metro West, and a lot of the things that go with it, provided Measure Y is honored and it's voted in by the public. Seems like it's splitting hairs, not in my opinion. That's kind of where I stand today. And so I wanted to be clear on where we are. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, I didn't expect this to be on the agenda, but it was. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but it falls under local control in the city. And it was voted in by the council 6-1, because Harlan was able to vote on this one. Harper was a no. That they are removing the rule in our code that the planning commission people need to reside in the district that they are on the planning commission. For example, in my District 6, planning commissioner for District 6 needs to reside in District 6. They took that away, and it was dismissed like the reasons given were, I don't know, Harlan was saying we have to be able to, there's judicial things that take place. And it's really important that we have the best and the brightest. And it was kind of brushed off like, oh, it's no big deal. I think Andrea Marr went on to say, oh, if it works, let's just do it. And if it works out, great. If not, we'll change it back. To me, I don't think that's how we should run a city. And if we want, if I want to win a game, I can change the goalpost. And that's, I think Harper used a golf reference. I don't think it's a good thing to start down that road. If we have a municipal code, we have rules in place, we should stick to them. And just because you don't like that somebody can't live in their district and need to move out because they can't find a home or whatever in that district, we don't change the rules just because they wanted this one person in there. You can't tell me that each district doesn't have a bench of highly qualified people to be on the planning commission. I just don't like the idea, especially when we have a 6-1 majority on council. Feels like it was rammed through. Feels like there wasn't a lot of debate. That's where I am with that one. And that's going to conclude. Those are the two main things that I wanted to talk about tonight. I will be attending the council meetings in the future in person. I have been avoiding it because mainly I wanted the hype, and they've only allowed 25 people in there at a time. And the people that seem to want to get in there just want to get up and talk. I want to get in there. I want to let things just kind of play out and have it be more of a settled thing. And you can expect me to be going in person. Breaking news, the last thing I will say that we caught breaking news out of council. This Saturday at Estancia, if you have nothing to do and you want to be entertained, Mayor Stevens announced that he will be challenging Manuel Chavez, Katrina Foley, and they'll be playing pickleball at Estancia at Saturday. I think it's 10 a.m. No, 9 a.m. So if you want to, if you want to watch something fun, go watch them play pickleball. And, if nothing else, be kind to yourself, be good to each other. Together we can get it done. Bye for now.